education on the kids' part. Do you think it's an education issue or it's an enforcement issue?
Many thanks. Road safety, like we all say, is a shared responsibility. It comes from you and me, right? I would say directly that it is. We always say we have this four technical E's in road safety, namely enforcement of the laws, education of all of us, engineering of our roads, and emergency services. But then I will say it goes with education and enforcement. This must go together. I'll give you a very simple example. Somebody goes to driving school to learn, and he passes his exams. He has his driving license. He starts driving. He sees a no U-turn, right? And then he knows that back at the driving school, he was taught that when you see a no U-turn, you must not make the turn. Now, so he obeys that law, goes to the bend or turning that has a U-turn, and then he negotiates the U-turn. Tomorrow he drives on the same road, no U-turn, 3-4 cars will turn at the no U-turn, and he looks at it and say, but at the driving school I was taught this is no U-turn, people are using it, it's shorter, so let me just join them. So this is really what happens in our country, and it's really sad that laws have been made, but on road safety, laws have been made and it's been broken, and it is still ongoing, and it's really sad in this country.
Very, very unfortunate, particularly what we are doing to children. When road traffic injury ranks among the top 4 causes of death for all children over the age of 5. In fact, between when Mr. Garbrah started speaking and now, at least one child has died prematurely on the road, has been injured, or has been maimed for life. Because every 4 minutes, a child is either injured, maimed, or dies. But we want to know, Mr. Garbrah, what is it about children that makes them vulnerable in road accidents?
This morning, for instance, when I was going to my office, in fact, I get to my office exactly at 6:30 because of where I live, off the Spinters Road. If you don't leave at 6 o'clock, honestly speaking, it's not possible to get to work. Right, and I look around always, and you see people, children less than 5 years of age trying to cross the road. And I ask myself, so where are the parents? Right? Somewhere last year, my office did a special program for mothers who sell by the roadside, asking them about how they take their children to school. And we realized that if there was this donut seller, makes the donut, sells to people walking by the roadside. And I noticed one particular thing, that her son, who was about 5 years old, was just close to her and said, Gina, so collect this money, go and cross this major road. And I'm saying this morning, this is what I was looking out for. And there are lots of children less than 5 years of age who are really vulnerable. And it's just as simple that adults can, have the right judgment when they stand by the roadside to cross a major road. Now, children who are less than 12 years of age do not have that matured brains to calculate the speed of the oncoming vehicle. And so, sometimes when they hear the horn, or sometimes when they hear the engine sound, they feel it is time for them to cross. And I always say that if you and I will be driving at the right speed, such a child will not even have that injury that we're talking about, because in road safety, any speed which is more than 50 kilometers can kill. If you are driving, the law says in our country that we should drive in town 50 kilometers per hour. If you are on the highway, 90 kilometers per hour. If you are traveling on the motorway, 100 kilometers per hour. But for these children who cannot judge the speed of the vehicle, they are very vulnerable, and therefore will have a lot of increased cases if parents will not take good care of their children. Because if you also look at transporting children to school, that also comes with another issue where parents don't really care. I take it upon myself when I see it. I try as much as possible to flash my lights to stop you, the mother, and then educate you a little bit that look, your son is standing in between the seats, that is the pillars, and therefore when you go on your brakes, that child is going to fly. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
I was actually describing a scene earlier in the show where I saw this in traffic yesterday, where a child was standing at the back, this time not between the two seats, but directly behind the driver. And she was standing there, and I was wondering, apart from everything, is it, safe? But the kids too, they won't sit still. How do we deal with them in that situation?
Well, it all goes to education. If you look at the LI 2180 119.5, it says a person shall not drive a motor vehicle on a road where a child of 5 years or below is in the front seat of the motor vehicle unless that person has provided a restraining or safety device or a carry cord for the child or an equipment designed for use by a child in conjunction with other restraining devices. So naturally this is the law, but how many of us have got the LI 2180? So it boils down to education. Okay, if we hit this at schools, at the market, and honestly speaking, I should congratulate Multimedia for this bold initiative on Arrive Alive. In fact, this is something which I pray that the whole country will pick it up. Because after all, what are we doing? We have children, we take care of the children, we pay their school fees, and if the child is no longer there, what are you going to benefit from if you have that family? So it is time for us to take good care of these little children and nurture them so that they become future leaders. Let's continue with this campaign, and I believe Joy FM will not stop it. Let's continue for 1 year so that the accident rate, which is 2,000, at least at the end of this year, will have maybe 50 or 100. I believe we can do it. Yes, we can do it.
It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible, especially with other nations recording 110 accidents, deaths from accidents, I should say, in an entire year. Now, tell us, does specific age and sex of a child or the gender, does it play a role in the possibility of a child getting an accident?
Well, I would say no. Once the person is a child, the sense of judging to cross the road or to sit in the car. I don't know whether you've even seen a video on WhatsApp going around where a child was sitting in the father's car and then opened the car. It comes with a lot of things. It doesn't really matter whether it's a female or male. It goes with the age. Okay. For instance, like I said, 12 years of age, your senses are not correct to cross the road. You sit in the car, you are fidgeting. How many people know that we have even what we call the child lock? A lot of people have their cars, and then just 2 weeks ago, an old man called me and said, Mr. Garbrah, when I open my door, by my back door, it doesn't work. So I sat in the car and I said, Uncle, come and look at it. This is what we call child lock. If you have any child less than 12 years of age and you put that child in the car, just put it up so the child cannot open it. So this is it. Doesn't really go with whether boys or girls. It's the age, because such people cannot. That little boy, little girl cannot think faster than you and I.
What about mode of transportation? Are there modes of transportation which are more likely to cause accidents among children?
Well, I would say that if I live off the Spinters Road, and when schools are on vacation, there is always this tendency where you not see that traffic, building up. But then I always pray that we'll have buses, just like we've had ambulances. We'll have buses this time that will pick children, and these buses have special seats for children, not the big ones, and then they will strap their seat belts to reduce the traffic on the road. But then for ordinary cars, the best thing to do is that if you look at the laws, it says your child must not be 5 years of age. If he's 5 years of age and you put him in front, the tendency for him to fly over through the windscreen is so high. So the best thing to do is put that child in the back seat, and if the child is less than 5 years of age, make sure that you put the child in a child restraint support seat, what we call as baby seat. Not only that, a lot of people have purchased it, all right, but when you put the seat behind, that's the back seat, make sure that you use the seat belt, the original seat belt of the car, to strap that baby seat so that it doesn't move. That is number one. Now, when you put your child in, right, make sure that you strap the child's belt. He may be uncomfortable. And then if you're a mother and you are driving, the best position is the back right, so that you can always turn to the right and see whether your child is okay. Now, if you look at another issue of manufacturers, they said if you put your child in the front seat and the airbag, that is the supplementary restraint support, okay, when it goes off, what will happen is the airbag comes out like a big balloon and it hurts. It can kill you if the child is less than 12 years of age. So the vehicle manufacturers are saying that don't put your child in the front seat unless the child is more than 12 years and above. And that is also a good example for us to educate everybody to know that 12 years of age, front seat, no, they fight. You also see mothers and fathers who have their children on their laps. This is very serious. When in any case of emergency where you go on your brakes, right, naturally, the mother will not hold the child first. The mother will hold either the dashboard or somewhere. That's the reflex action of any human being, right? So for mothers who have their children on their laps or seated by them, that's also wrong. The seat belt in front is only meant, all seat belts are meant for only one person at a time. So how do you put the child on your laps and then use your seat belt around you? It doesn't work. And if you look at the mechanism of the seat belt, which is made up of lead, and I always take this opportunity also to advise people who purchase the second-hand vehicles that when you are buying it, check it and make sure that your seat belt works. How do you do it? Pull it, and when it straps, then you know that that vehicle has not been involved in an accident before. A lot more can be said about children.
What about children on motorbikes or Okada?
That is very wrong. It is very wrong. For us as human beings sitting behind Okada, is not something which I will advise. Right? You see a child about between 5 to 12 years of age, the mother, father is taking that child to school. Not only him, sometimes you see 2-3 cases. It's really against the regulations. It is there in the LI 2180, you must not have that child on the motorbike, and such people must be arrested. And then moreover, it is Okada which is not safe.
A few weeks back, it's 26 minutes past 9 here on the Super Morning Show on Joy997 FM. Cecil Garbrah is a road safety expert, and he's joining us as part of today's Arrive Alive campaign. We are talking about keeping children safe on the road. A few weeks back, that's the message I was reading, I noticed a driver kept swaying between lanes on the N1. I got closer, only to find the driver had a toddler, not more than 18 months, on his lap, while the mother sat comfortably at the back seat. I decided to have a chat with him in traffic. He argued his seatbelt was on and he was holding the child, so the child was safe. Then I told him if he applies the brake, the baby would fly, but he had protected himself. I was so upset that at this time, my 6-year-old was in my back seat. I hope he was in a car seat. This man passed by so many policemen and even jumped the red light and wasn't even stopped once. SMH, shaking my head. I was so heartbroken, and his excuse, The baby wanted to sit with him. Next time, send a picture of this person, and so that we can just make it very, very simple for all of us. 28 minutes past 9. I'll be opening the phone lines very shortly, but this is a typical example, Mr. Garbrah, isn't it?
Yeah, very. This is a sad situation, you see, and people think they are doing the right thing. I see that a lot. You are driving, your child is seated right in the middle of you, and then sometimes they even interfere by holding the steering. This is wrong. Such a person must be arrested. And I just look at the motor courts that straight away they should let him pay a fine, maybe 250 penalty units, or he should go to jail and leave the child alone because he's wicked. He wants to kill the child. This is what I say. And it goes to mothers and fathers who do the same thing in the front seat. Put the child in the child restraint support seat, the baby seat at the back. Strap the child so that the child will be protected than what you are doing, right? So in a situation like that, and interestingly enough, when you meet them and you educate them, they feel they are right, and they sometimes argue and fight with you and tell you, but what do you know, right? So again, it goes back to education and enforcement. This must go together.
It must go together as a response that Mr. Garbrah gives us. Whether or not the rising numbers of fatalities recorded on our roads is an issue of education or enforcement or both. That's a question I want you to answer for me. Do you think it's a matter of education or enforcement or both? I want you also, if you have a question, to pose the question to Mr. Cecil Garbrah. He's here to answer all the questions you have about child safety in a car. But have you strapped in your child? You listening to me now. Or did you strap them in this morning when you were dropping them off? What will you do to ensure your child is safe when driving? Call us on 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. I pick the first phone call when I come back.
For life, generally insurance.
Many people died on that road. I can't remember, there was this doctor.
And finances. Look up to Geico for solutions. Look up to Geico for solutions. Geico, we cushion you for life. Geico, we cushion you for life. Geico, 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 we cushion you for life.
Contact Geico on 030-221-8500 or 020-2222-113.
Hey, Bra Kofi, your ceiling be smooth, bright and fine, Papa.
That's an understatement. It dey blink like 80 carats white gold. This be Interface plasterboard ceilings. Smooth, bright, and long-lasting. Everybody where they come here, they fill up. Where they direct them go Interface Limited for world-class quality.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
In this competition, you need to be up for the fight.
Unbelievable! Drag to the level!
There are no weight divisions. Doesn't matter if you're City, United, or even Liverpool.
City are in trouble here.
You see, this is anyone's game, and even the smallest opponent can eliminate you.
They surely won the FA Cup!
This is knockout football. The Emirates FA Cup on Supersport. Get blow-by-blow coverage of the oldest competition when you get connected to DSTV.
I'm here because of music, and if not for music, I can actually point blank say that I wouldn't be here if not for music. Music actually nurtured me. I mean, I've met a lot of people. Fans means a lot to me. You know, before you get a hit song out there, a number of people that love the movement, the number of people that actually want to be a part of your story, and those are the people we call fans. My social impact is actually 100% based on motivation. I mean, the things I put out there, I mean, how I inspire people. And my music is like a vehicle where people join and it directs them to, I mean, specific places they want to be sometimes. Hi, it's a rock style choir region, and I'm here for the music, for the fun, and for the impact. This is not off to me. Rock number one. Jeez.
3 music awards. Here for the music.
On Joy Learning from One Belt, Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., 1 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday, Integrated Science, Sales. Tuesday, Financial Accounting, Final Account, Financial Statements of Sole Trader. Wednesday, English Language, Sentences. Thursday, Biology, Introduction to Biology. Friday, Geography, Elements of Map Reading and Interpretation. The Form 2 belt is on Monday to Friday at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Monday, Cost Accounting, Process Costing. Tuesday, Geography, Earthquake. Wednesday, Economics, Perfect Competition Market. Thursday, Chemistry, Solubility Product Constant. Friday, Business Management, Insurance. The Form 3 belt is on Monday to Friday at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Monday, Elective Maths, Gradient Function. Tuesday, Biology, the Mammalian Heart, Part 2. Wednesday, Financial Accounting, Personal Account of Partners, Part 2. Thursday, Business Management, Globalization and Economic Integration, Part 3. Friday, Elective Maths, Maximum and Minimum. Catch up with Joy Learning for a recap on all the lessons on Saturdays and Sundays from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. For more inquiries, please call 0302 211 688 or 0264 790 970 or log into www.myjoyonline.com or www.adumonline.com for updates on weekly schedule. To join subject forums, please log into www.woloafrica.com. Learning is simple and easy on Ghana's first educational channel. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
In your cup, enjoy on the best. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy997 FM.
Mr. Driver, life is not a dime. Oh, my brother, change your mind. Change your speed, 145. You go kill yourself. You go kill another. Keep your eyes on the road. Mr. Driver, take your time, keep your eyes on the road. Mrs. Driver, take your time, keep your eyes on the road. Motor rider, take your time, keep your eyes on the road. No matter the car that you drive, if you jam, you go die, If you are a teacher, we need you alive. Take it easy, we need you alive. Take it slow now.
The way people were switching lanes, Garbrah, they were switching lanes they were just driving anyhow. And like people are just not careful on our roads. It's a terrible one. And by the way, that's why I saw that child standing in the back seat. I've referred to. Anyway, our guest in studio is Cecil Garbrah. I'll bring him in. I'll bring him back in to answer your questions specifically. There are also questions about the engineering of our roads. You know, walkways, footbridges, and the various kinds of road crossings. A zebra crossing is not the only kind of road crossing. He'll be educating us about those.
If you are a trader.
But it's 22 minutes to the hour of 10 a.m. here on the Super Morning Show on Joy997 FM. Glyco wishes you a happy new year. As you resolve to be a success in 2020, do you have a fallback plan? Live the cushioned life with Glyco's specially customized insurance products and services. The future is uncertain. Glyco will support you when the misfortune happens with the needed financial resources to put you back on your feet. Contact Glyco today on Star Glyco or 020 2222113 020-2222-113 for everything insurance.
My brother of the booze, never drink and drive. Do it so, he goes save your life.
So before my first caller comes in, and by the way, phone lines are open on 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. Now, answer this question for me. Have you strapped your child, listening to me, in your car right now? Did you strap them in this morning? What will you do to ensure that your child is safe when driving? Or maybe you want to tell me, how do we deal with the issue of rising numbers recorded on our roads, rising number of deaths recorded on our roads? Is it a matter of education or enforcement or both? Tell me on 0302-216-541. But in a minute, so Mr. Garbrah, let's talk about road engineering and what that does, what that can do when it comes to safety. Right after I hear from Uncle Joe, who is calling us from Accra. Good morning, Uncle Joe.
Yeah, good morning. Joy FM, I really commend you for the Arrive Alive thing. The issue is, I would have wished that some of these messages are broadcast in our local dialect, because it's not only the educated people who can drive, so that it goes down well with every driver, every single driver, whether private or commercial. And this is my suggestion.
Thank you very much for your suggestion, Uncle Joe. Of course, we have sister stations that broadcast in Akan, and they are in the campaign as well, so you'll be hearing that on their platforms. Issy is on the line from Accra. Good morning, Issy.
Good morning, and thank you. I've been trying your line forever. Anyway.
Oh, Issy, sorry.
My take is on both education and enforcement. Look, I was driving on the other time, and then there was this trotro that was beside me, said, well, this thing. And the woman was sitting in the trotro, holding a baby, a toddler on her lap. And the toddler had stuck his hand outside the window. And the mother was just sitting there, I mean, ignorant of the implication.
Did the mother even see that the child had stuck the hand outside the window?
Definitely. If you have a toddler on your lap and the toddler had stuck their hand through the window, you will be aware if you are a caring mother. So I had to maneuver to get near to the driver when there was a traffic. And I told the driver to tell the woman that he should take care of the baby, of the child, on her lap. So the driver kindly enough turned and then reprimanded a woman to do the right thing. So you see, the education has to go a long way.
You see, I agree with you. That's why we're doing this, actually, because the education has a long way to go. Jackson is on the line from Cape Coast. Good morning, Jackson.
Yeah, Daniel, I'm back again. First of all, let me thank Multimedia for the good work they are doing for Mother Ghana. You are voice of voiceless in this country. Thank you very much. Yes, for me, both good, the education and then the enforcement. because education, it looked like nobody care about our drivers in this country. Meanwhile, I learned that I hear from Joy FM that the accident is killing people in this country more than everything. And it looked like nobody cared. The designing of our road, some are very bad. And the enforcement people, that's the police people. Anytime they stop the vehicle, they won't check whether the brake light of the vehicle is working. Because for me, I know that without your brake light working, that one too can cause accident. And your guest to say something. Our children, you will be driving around the town. You see 2 years, 3 years, 4 years want to cross the road. Crossing for school, nobody is guarding them. And nobody care. Nobody care. It's something. I think the education have to go to our school, our major station, and educate the local drivers too, the trotro drivers. Because sometimes you sit inside the trotro driver, when a trotro driver see police, after he pass the police finish, he just remove his seatbelt. As a good driver, you don't need anybody to tell you to wear your seatbelt.
You see? But it's a problem. Sometimes I wonder why we have to tell them ourselves. Jackson, thank you so much. That was a great contribution all the way from Cape Coast. David is on the line from Lekma. Good morning, David.
Yeah. Good morning, man.
When was the last time you used the Lekma Road?
Oh, I'm close to Lekma. I'm a Paris dealer, so I always use that road.
Okay. Hey, someone you would know if you listen to the show lives around there. But anyway, I brought that up because the last time I drove on the Lekma Road, David, the drivers, because of the side that has been done, were driving so fast and they weren't being as careful. What do you think?
You know what? I've been listening to Joy FM for more than a decade now, so I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, thank you guys for your good stuff. And I think, like the lady said earlier on, I think they probably need more education because the way they drive over there is very bad, and the nation as a whole. I was coming from Kolebu yesterday night, and the way they were changing lanes was very bad. And I was telling my kids, this is the reason why each and every year we record 2,000 plus accidents, and it's very bad. And it's like what you guys said, 80 to 90% is the error of the drivers, which is very bad. I think drivers need more education as well. You understand? Like you guys were saying, it's just like the school drops us that take that job, which is not. It's not supposed to be like that. You understand? They need more education. Very bad. You use that road. So when you come, especially that Lekman, not only Lekman, thinking of road and the way the attitude of some drivers is very, very bad. Yeah, so we need more education. Thank you guys for the big job.
Dave, thank you as well. Kobe is on the line from Kumasi. Unfortunately, I lost Kobe. 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. If you have a question for Mr. Garbrah as well on how we can keep kids safe in cars,
no worries.
How we can keep kids safe in cars.
So, we need you alive. Take it easy.
You can ask him as well. We would have him address a few of the concerns before we go ahead. But we are asking you if you have strapped your child in that car that you are driving right now, or if you've dropped them off already. Did you strap them in this morning? What will you do to ensure your child is safe when driving?
Drop the phone.
So there were lots more contributions than there were questions, Mr. Garbrah, but there's still the question of engineering that we will deal with in just a moment, right after I hear Ezekiel. Good morning, Ezekiel.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. How are you?
I am blessed, but I'm getting too much feedback from your end of the line. Can you turn off the radio, please?
Yeah, it's off. It's off.
Super. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my concern is about long distance driving. Okay, I sometimes go long distance, and to be honest with you, Accra to Aflao, for instance, there are no reflectors on the road. There's so many speed ramps. If you are not conversant with the route, you crash. So I want the man there to think about it, to put reflectors at least where there are speed ramps.
Okay.
Yes, so that those who are driving at night will notice it. And they should also check for illegal speed ramps, because sometimes you pass in the day and at dawn when you are returning, or sometimes at dawn when you are going, there's an illegal speed ramp there. And that has killed some people, which is not reported.
Ezekiel, the next leg of our conversation with Mr. Garbrah will deal specifically with how the roads are engineered. So you want to stay tuned for that one because it's something I'm personally also very passionate about. Elvis is on the line from Community 25. Good morning, Elvis. You're my last caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Elvis,
I'm Elvis from 25.
Mm.
I think our institutions are also not helping. More or less, most especially the police. I had an incident around the Gulf City on Friday. A Bell Aqua truck ran into my truck. He reversed into my truck. And the case has been sent to the police station. The police is now pleading with me to let go of the matter without me and my car being fixed.
Really?
Sure.
The police is pleading with you?
Yes. The cost of damage is around 8,000. And the company is saying they can only afford 3,000 of the cost. And the police is asking me to just accept that money and go, so as we will not just take the case to court.
Can you hold on and speak to Sammy for me, okay?
Okay.
The man who picked your phone call. Speak to him,
right.
give him your details. I think we need to verify some of the info and then do some follow-up. Sammy, please, talk to the man for me. Thank you very much for calling. That was the final caller, though. That was Elvis from Community 25. A lot of varied comments coming in, Mr. Garbrah. A lot of passion about the work that is being done. Does it encourage you being a road safety management expert?
Yes, this is really encouraging. I mean, if all of us will speak about road safety, the carnage on our roads, I think it's the best news for now and forever, that we should continue to speak about how we can reduce road crashes. In fact, as I was sitting here, I coming up with so many ideas that shouldn't be only radio. Joy FM, we should step up the campaign, go on the roads with the police support to talk to people, not to arrest people. Let's talk to people. If it's early morning, let's pick some of the schools. Let's see whether parents are doing the right thing by transporting their children. Let's advise some of the children. Many people don't know. And in fact, that is why we have a lot of carnage on our roads. For instance, this Dompoasi accident. If you can allow me to talk about just 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Right. A lot of people sit in buses, and when the driver is speeding, they don't even know that the driver is speeding. Okay, it's one sad point that because they don't know how to drive, they don't have that idea to judge the speed at which the driver is traveling at. And this is why, in fact, I spoke to your colleague Israel, that this is why some of us are advocating that, look, for every situation, every bus must have a speedometer just below the mirror, so that people seated in the bus will know that, look, the bus is traveling at 75 kilometers per hour. And I'm also advocating that let's go back to the LI 218-0135 to be specific, which is encouraging us to fix speed limiters in all buses, okay? That those buses cannot drive more than 75 kilometers per hour. It's the LI, it is there. And we should do it. And I know National Road Safety Authority, which is now an authority, will stamp on it and make sure that is done.
Because, STC is already doing this. Yesterday, we heard them on the show. Very encouraging to note that this technology is being applied there.
Yes. We need also to run an audit for this private transport companies.
True.
And then if they don't qualify, let's stop them, because they are killing people. They are really wasting lives that cannot be replaced. Okay. Now, so coming back to
the road
your
design.
question, the road design. Yes, it's a serious thing. And again, just 2 days ago, I was driving with Israel. I'm sure it's all over Facebook and everywhere.
Oh yes, I saw it.
Yes,
it was great.
And then I was just like a commentator. Right. And then if you look at the roads design, it's just so in this country that we don't have walkways. All the walkways have been taken by traders, or people have pushed their buildings close to the walkways, which should be about 10 feet away from the road. right? So where do they walk? And then we notice, especially somewhere around Newtown and so on, people are really walking on the streets itself, the tarred streets. So where do they pass? Right, this is again an engineering issue. That's like we spoke about the 4 technical E's. This E is very important. We don't have pedestrian crossings. Okay, if you look at road markings on our roads, road markings are supposed to last for over 10 years. But go and look at it. Road markings will be done today, and then the next year it is gone. It's faded. We need an audit. We need to put all these contractors to book and make sure we deal with them if they have to go to court for using wrong materials. That is it. Because road markings is really important, especially when I get to somewhere and I see the pedestrian crossings being faded away and people are trying to cross the road. That is a very big issue that we need to tackle in this country. The other thing is also, once I talk about road markings, let me also speak about what we call the cat's eye. Okay, the cat's eye is put in the middle of the road, space about 10 to 20 meters depending on the road. Right, all this reflects when you are driving, and then gives you that information that look, you are getting to the middle of the road, and if there's even a pedestrian crossing there, you would notice that it's a pedestrian crossing. They are dead, and also. What we bring to this country is not the right thing. Well, I say it as it is, without fear or favor.
We don't bring the right materials in.
We are not. Right, it's
a problem.
Right, so road markings and roadways, we do not have it. We don't have paved walkways. We don't have bicycle lanes, and also the bicycle riders, which I want Joy FM to pick it up, is that no bicycle, about 100 bicycles that you see, it's only one that have got a light to ride in the evening. If the police is listening to me, I mean, this is where we have to make a lot of money from arrest. I mean, education first, and then people must fix their lights. We need a lot more of education than enforcement. Okay, and when we educate and Waswa and Tasama, then we go on to the next thing to do the arrest. That is what I'll say for now.
Mr. Garbrah, we are so grateful that you joined us this morning to give us this essential education on keeping our children safe, and we also ended with engineering on our roads and how roads can be engineered to be safer. Very simple things that, if applied, the 2,284 people who died last year will not have to be repeated this year. Any final comments before we go?
Well, what I'll just say is we need to also launch a campaign to voice it out. Voice it out. We have that situation where we sit in vehicles, commercial vehicles, drivers are not doing the right thing, and then you go and talk, and then somebody seated by you say, hey, what are you saying? Right? We need to launch a campaign for everybody to launch it, to voice it out. Education must be ongoing. Let's step up the road safety campaign everywhere, in schools, in the markets, at lorry parks. It's really important that we spread the news. And then finally, we should all arrive in one piece and not in pieces.
Arrive alive.